And now this, as you may have heard, a federal judge in California has granted class action status to a lawsuit against Uber, claiming the company treats its drivers like employees without providing benefits. Joining us now, the co-founder and CEO of another ride-sharing app. It's called Via. This could be a similar business model to Uber. Daniel Ramot is with us. Daniel, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here again.
Now then, your whole business, I'm going to say the whole sharing economy, is under attack. Do you feel that attack? Do you feel like pulling back, reining yourselves in?
I think the sharing economy has been a tremendous bit of innovation for the entire U.S. economy and has been a great business. It would be obviously a shame if it had to pull back.
And are you?
We certainly aren't. I think we're continuing to grow very rapidly. As you know, we operate in New York.
Yeah.
We're planning to launch additional cities very soon.
Are you spending a fortune on lawyers to defend yourselves?
So not yet in our case, but I think there is a broader question.
Do you expect to? Come on, I'm pushing, Daniel.
Yeah.
Look, you're under attack.
It's definitely
What's going to be your response?
It's definitely something to consider as if you're in the sharing economy business. And I think here, there's something the government has to really look into, whether if these folks are employees or contractors, if they aren't independent, they're certainly not employees, right? As you were saying earlier, they're operating on their own time. If they're not employees, if they're not independent contractors, maybe we need a third status. And I'm not the only one saying this, but we really need to look at a way to encourage innovation rather than work against it.
Yes, I mean, you are some of the great innovators in this society at this moment, and they're going after you. They're coming down the pike just aiming for you.
So I think it's certainly very important to allow everyone who's operating in this business, who's innovating, to continue to do so, and these sorts of lawsuits make it challenging.
Okay, what are you going to do? You operate only in New York, you employ professional drivers, and they're coming after you.
So in our case, we employ professional drivers. They're very clearly independent contractors in our view. I think we need to continue looking at what's happening with this lawsuit. And
do you pay them benefits?
We don't pay them benefits, no.
Okay, do you pay for anything for their cars, insurance, or anything?
So, most of the drivers that we work with, not all, work for multiple different companies. They operate on their own time, as you had said. This is their choice to be, to work in this way, and they're really, I think, a benefit to them to be independent contractors.
But all you do is to supply the riders.
Right. We
put them in touch with riders. That's all you do.
Right.
And you take a piece of the fare. That's what you do.
Right. So in our case, we're just a platform that connects these independent contractors with riders. Riders book a ride on their phone, and we have a shared ride model where multiple riders can share the single car.
Now, you only operate in New York City at this moment.
Right.
I know you want to expand, but just New York at the moment.
Yep.
What's your growth rate like?
It's very rapid. So we see tens of percent month over month.
Whoa. Tens of percent, like you're growing 20% a month or 30%
Yeah, 20,
a
30,
month?
40, sometimes more percent a month, yep.
And you've kept that growth rate up since you started?
That's right, yeah.
It's called Via?
Via.
Is it public yet?
It is not, no.
Why is it just New York?
So as I was saying, we operate a model where we have multiple riders share a car. So when you book a Via ride, we find other passengers who are sharing with you. And what's very critical for us is to have scale. We can't really operate successfully if we only end up with one passenger in a car. So we've been building this out in New York, and as it's starting to work here, obviously the densest city in the U.S., we can take this to other markets as well.
It's almost a commuter service, isn't it? Because if I'm coming to work and I know the route I'm taking, there are other people who take the same route, going in the same direction. You hook everybody up together.
Right, so lots of people use it to commute. They might also use it to run errands in the middle of the day. We're able to identify in real time who's going where and group those folks together into a single car.
One of our producers uses your service and pays $5 a day to get from our apartment down to where we work here in Midtown Manhattan. $5 a day.
It's a terrific service. What can I say?
Yeah, you've got a big smile on your face. So does she, as a matter of fact. It works.
It does work. And again, the idea is that if we're efficient about it and we're able to group folks together, then we can charge such a low fare. It's almost like a dynamic bus, if you want to think about it that way.
You're so wicked, Daniel. You're not paying benefits to these people who voluntarily work in your operation.
Thanks very much, Varney.
You're welcome. Daniel, thanks very much for being with us. I'm sorry I got to move on. It's a busy market day. Come back and see us soon.
Will do.
Thank you, Daniel.